Welcome to the 7 Levels of Reading and Influencing Human Behavior, Introduction to Jussie Smollett Case Study, video 1 of 4. My name is Janine Driver. I'm a body language and detecting deception expert, aka Celebrity Lie Detector. I have a Celebrity Lie Detector show coming here on social media soon, probably March 2019. And this will be one of the cases. I just threw this together, though, in PowerPoint because this is a hot case right now. I wanted to strike while the iron was hot and let everyone know what my thoughts were here on Jussie Smollett. If you're not familiar with this case, I'm so glad you're here because holy smokes, you've really been missing out. Jussie Smollett is angered and devastated that suggestions that he was involved in the attack. So he was attacked on January 31st in Chicago, supposedly outside of a Subway. After he got a salad, and it ends up these two guys are actors on the same show that Jussie's on. They had made a couple appearances on a television show. These guys are out of Nigeria. So the cops picked them up, kept them for a little while, and then released them. The FBI was investigating, and it's just been chaos, man. The whole world is weighing in. Celebrities are weighing in, and, giving condolence messages to Jussie Smollett. And man, he's going to owe big apologies to people, I think. Brothers say Jussie Smollett paid them to participate in the alleged attack. And it's probably likely that that's what happened. Evidently, one of these guys was hired by Jussie a while back for personal training. And they were all on the same television show called Empire. So let's dive in a little deeper. Yahoo reported, today is Sunday, by the way, so this just came in yesterday, that early Saturday morning after the brothers were released, police had new information that could change the story entirely. Yeah, you think? These brothers confirmed by police. They're the ones seen in the surveillance videos we're going to look at in a second. And based on the video footage, there is no one else involved. They produced, evidently, receipts for the rope that supposedly was put around Jussie's neck as a noose. And we'll see what happens here. I definitely think he's lying, and I'm going to explore with you, why do I think that? Incidentally, a month and a few days prior to this attack, look what Jussie put on Twitter. Happy Monday, fam. Y'all ever wake up with bruises in random places, like you whooping your own beep in your sleep? Look at this. You can see in the bottom left here, 8:45. It was on December 17th, 2018. This happened a month later, January. I put this on Facebook yesterday. How to be a bad actor when you lie. Step 1, shoulder shrug. Step 2, pull your lips in. We'll explore all of those throughout this series. Hey, here's a teaser, guys. Look, it's my new intro for Celebrity Lie Detector. This is not Celebrity Lie Detector. This is just a little PowerPoint I put together for you guys. Well, the episode for the Jussie with Celebrity Lie Detector gets edited. So this is really just, old school. I want to show you, though, there's 7 levels of communicating, influencing, and decoding human behavior. And what we're going to be talking about in this series with Jussie is steps 1, 2, and 3, levels 1, 2, and 3. Cognition, which is traditional body language and how the body influences the brain and vice versa. Emotion, the 7 universal emotions: happiness, sadness, fear, surprise, anger, contempt, disgust. We'll be talking about those. And then, of course, how it all ties together here in step 3. Deception. Steps 5 and 6 are connected with something called movement pattern analysis. This is advanced training we will not be covering here. And Driver on Demand, my virtual training, which is how you can actually have a behavioral shift, become a body language expert, or use these skills to become the top 1% of the top 1% in sales, if you are in sales. This will not launch till March 2019. So I know people have been interested in this, and I'll keep you posted. All right, here we go, everybody. Let me see. Hi, everybody. I've got my little Benjamin Franklin glasses on here so I can chat with you. All right, let's see. Let's get the party started. This part is just the teaser. So this is the introduction. And the reason I'm introducing this is there's so much content here, guys. I've been working on this for 2 days, editing it. It's after midnight now. This introduction is an overview of how truthful people tell a story versus how liars tell a story. And I'll break you through it. A truthful story is 30, 50, 20. This is approximate, okay? So what I mean by this is there should be a setup before the arc of the story, right? So there's like the before part, you know, what happens before, oh, let me fix this. What happens before the attack, you know, or if you're telling me your boyfriend or girlfriend proposed, what happened before the proposal? What happened before you got fired or before you got hired? So there's just like a movie, right? I mean, this guy, he reads scripts. You think he would have this figured out, right? So there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. The middle is the main part of the movie, right? It's the main part. But here, look what he has. Instead of 50%, he has 30%. And then he ends with 28%. Now, when people lie, they either do a couple things. One, the percentages are off, like we see here with Jussie. Or two, they forget to have a beginning or they forget to have an end. So sometimes they'll just go straight into the attack, like straight into the drama, and then they'll have a big long end, or they'll have a big long beginning, like we see here with Jussie. Look at this, Mac Daddy, 42% of the time that he talks with Robin Roberts about the actual attack, the setup is where he spends most of the time. Unnecessary details. It's so, stuff is going to blow your mind, guys. And then somehow after getting beaten up, he doesn't tell us, does he like chase the guys? He doesn't tell us that he gets home. He just tells us that he gets to the apartment. He looks at himself to see how banged up he is. He keeps the noose around his neck and bleached clothes on his body for 30 minutes until the police come. Bizarre. Worst liar ever. Listen, I'm not a casting director, but how the hell did this guy get a job on the show Empire? Was he a good actor on Empire? Listen, he's charming. He's charming. He's very, very likable. He's very, very charming. I think what he's doing now is a huge disservice for the LGBT community. I have a niece that's bisexual. I have a nephew a cousin who is homosexual. I've dated women in my 20s, and I'm friends with the LGBT community. I feel like I'm a part of that community, and I don't know why he's doing it, but I think he's lying big time, and it's very disheartening. The next time someone in the community gets hurt, people are going to second guess them because of this. This is Jodi Arias all over again. Do you watch the Jodi Arias murder trial? How she killed Travis Alexander, ex-boyfriend. Then eventually she says she's a battered woman. And they really like stuck with that story for so long. It was ridiculous. So now that any battered woman, everyone's going to be like, you know, maybe she's just Jodi Arias killing her ex-boyfriend. It's terrible. I said a prayer for him. I don't know. I know there's not a lot of prayer people today. And people get mad when I say I'm a prayer person. Get over it. I'm not saying you have to be a prayer person. I'm a prayer person. I prayed for this guy. I don't know why he did this, but my mother always said to me, hurt people hurt people. So I don't know why he would lie about something like this. I don't know. I hope eventually he comes clean and tells us what happened. What happened? Why is he doing this? Anyway, I pray for him. He's a young guy. He just screwed his whole future because when the truth comes out, I don't know. I believe in second chances, so hopefully we give him a second chance. Hopefully Oprah or some talk show host gets a hold of him and we figure out what happened. And, 20, 30 years from now, think about, what's his name? Iron Man, right? What's his name? Downey Jr. What's his name? Anyway, Iron Man, he was in his 20s and 30s. He was like a partier and a rock star and did crazy bad stuff. And he like turns around and makes this amazing comeback. And I hope that's what happens with Jussie here. So I'm saying prayers for him and his family and his friends. All right. Prior to the attack, let's watch this.
I landed in Chicago, and Frank Gatson, who's like my uncle.
42% of him talking to Robin Roberts about the attack happens here.
And then we got back to the apartment. There was no food. And
Smiling.
So I went out to Walgreens thinking that they were 24 hours and to have a smoke. Walgreens was closed. So I called him up and I said, hey, I'm going to run to Subway, which was across the street. And I'm going to get a salad. Do you want anything? I went to the Subway and got the order. During that time, I texted my manager thinking that he was still in Australia because he was on an Australian tour with one of his other clients. I said, yo, call me when you can. He called me immediately. And while he was on the phone, I heard, as I was crossing the intersection, I heard Empire. I don't answer to Empire. My name ain't Empire. And I didn't answer. I kept walking, and then I heard,
All right, this is the setup. You got to stick around another series here because I have 4 parts. I don't know what I just kicked under my table, but there's 4 parts. Are you seeing this? So there's lots of laughter here. Now, we laugh for a couple different reasons. We can laugh for embarrassment, right? If we do something, we're embarrassed. We can laugh for joy, and then we can laugh at something called duping delight, like when we're nervous and apprehensive, or we think we're getting one over on someone. Here, it's wicked out of place. Way too many details. It's out of place. You'll hear in a second, he doesn't tell us that he keeps the manager in his pocket, but somehow the manager's still on the phone somehow gets in the pocket, and now here's the attack. Watch this. So down here, you're going to see this number change. It's going to go to 30, where we're looking for 50%, we're going to hear 30. The so-called attack. Smiling still.
And I didn't answer. I kept walking, and then I heard Empire. So I turned around and I said, did you just say to me? And I see the attacker.
Fake sadness or fake fear. I don't even know what emotion he's trying to fake here, but you can notice right here in the forehead, there's nothing. So in sadness, these 2 inner eyebrows would be pulled together and up. And then in fear, the eyebrows go up and straight across. Now, maybe some of you are saying, well, Janine, he's a young actor, maybe he has Botox, that's possible. And we're not seeing any other emotion here in this part of the face. I think he's trying to show fear. It's just not coming across. It's just not coming across. When it comes to reading people, we're always looking for clusters. Let's keep watching it.
Masked and asked the attacker. Masked, and he said,
I have to stop. I got to give you another sneak peek. So he's calling him the attacker. This is out of sync. We know this as a fact when people are attacked. It's a man approached me, a woman came at me, a guy with a mask, because it's at this point in the story, if it really happened, it's not an attacker. See, when you make up a story about, okay, there's this guy, you're going to attack me, you'll be the attacker, okay? You'll be the attacker, you'll come at me. And so all of a sudden, when you go to recall the story, you're labeling that person the attacker before they're actually an attacker, right? Right now, it was suspicious. A guy came over, he had a hat, he's saying the N-word, he's got a mask on, some guy, and he's like approaching me. But we have the attacker right out of the gate. And we hear the again, later he's gonna talk about the stairs. And we ended up tussling at the stairs. This is another suspicious spot because the stairs, nowhere else does he ever talk about the stairs. He wasn't like, yeah, I went to Subway, it's in between 2 sets of stairs, or I climbed down the stairs in my apartment, went to a Subway. The stairs, because he says the, indicates when he talked to these 2 guys and probably hired them to beat him up, he said, okay, you guys attack me by the stairs. Anytime you put a the in front of it, it creates significance. So it says there's some significance here in the story. So if I was doing this interview, I would say, tell me more about the stairs. That's interesting. This is why I would love to train media professionals, and Robin Roberts is doing a great job. And there's so many more details that we could find out if you knew how to detect deception. We were to ask those following questions. This is why I show these types of videos even in my sales training, because this is where this guy has everything to lose, right? His integrity, his job, maybe even his freedom. So certainly respect by others. Okay, let's finish this.
This MAGA country punches me right in the face. So I punched his ass back. And then we started tussling. It was very icy.
Tussling.
And we ended up tussling by the stairs.
By the stairs.
Fighting. There was a second person involved who was kicking me.
When there's a change of language, that's also a hot spot with deception. So tussling. The word tussle, so there's an expression. You write different for the stage than you do the page. So when if you're going to give a TED talk, say, you're going to talk on a TED talk, your ideal is to talk the way you would normally speak, right? How you would talk out loud. But when we write a script, when you write for the page, when you're writing for the book, you do a lot of upwriting. You say things in a fancy way. So the word tussling, maybe this is part of his baseline. The problem is he's saying tussle. Someone is attacking you, dude, like beating the crap out of you out of nowhere, and it's a tussle. A tussle is what I do with my little kids when we're wrestling. So maybe it's a tussle. The problem is he goes from tussling to then attacking. When there's that change of language, then we know without a doubt there's more to the story happening right in here. I don't know. We'd have to ask him more questions about it.
Back and
watch this.
Involved, who was kicking
this is fascinating. Watch.
Fighting. There was a second person involved.
So now there's a second person involved, okay? Person. So instead of some other guy came in, he's jumping on me. Now there's a second person. A second person came over and he's involved. First of all, a person being involved, a second person came over and now he's involved. No one says that. Anyone who's ever been attacked, I've spoken to people who've been attacked. I was attacked by an old boyfriend who tried to kill me and leave me for dead. A hotshot lawyer in Connecticut. You would never say, and a second person came over and he got involved. You know, my boyfriend at the time, he got involved, you know, like we were arguing and then he got involved by, you know, punching me in the face. And no. So the word that a second person came over and he got involved. Now watch this. Watch how many seconds he talks about him. I think it's 3 seconds. Watch.
Who was kicking me in my back. And then it just stopped.
2 seconds. So was kicking me in his back and then it just stopped. So he brings in a second person and he talks for 2 seconds and then he ends with this emotion. Do you see this? What's this thing called right here? Look at that. And then it just stopped. And he's smiling here. Oh, it's terrible. It's a terrible liar.
And I didn't answer.
This is the second part. Okay, now let's do the after the attack and wrap up part 1 so we can get to parts 2, 3, and 4 because you're going to love them.
And they ran off. And I saw where they ran. And the phone was in my pocket, but it had fallen out. And it was sitting there. And my manager was still on the phone. So I picked up the phone and I said, Brandon. And he's like, what's going on? And I said, I was just jumped. And then I looked down and I see that there's a rope around my neck, which I hadn't.
You hadn't noticed it before?
No, because it was so fast. You know what I'm saying? It was so fast.
How long did this all
It felt like minutes, but it probably was like 30 seconds, honestly. I can't tell you honestly.
Honestly.
The rope around my neck and I started screaming. And I said, there's a rope around my neck.
All right. First of all, I'm drinking unsweet iced tea. If you're like, oh, she drinks soda. No, I don't drink soda. Unsweet iced tea from McDonald's is fabulous. All right. I can't wait to dive deeper into this. We'll talk about this clip again. I'm going to pull it apart in the next couple of clips. It's not easy for me to rope it in right now. Well, I didn't mean to say rope it in. This whole rope thing, this noose around his neck is crazy, man. He keeps it around his neck for 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes. Excuse me, until the cops get there, he tells us later. It's crazy. So percents are off. Not good.